Well, campers, can you believe it? Today is day 5. It is Friday. Mrs. Souders here to guide you through the last day of art camp. I'd love to know, how did your printmaking go? What were some of your very happy pictures? Did you try more than one print using your printing plate? Remember, please send me your pictures of your creations, again, to that email down below, MySummerArtCamp@gmail.com. Please let me know things that went well. Let me know what you enjoyed. Let me know what things were maybe difficult too. That way we can kind of keep improving on this system. So please keep sending me those emails and those pictures. I do love seeing your work. Today, for our last day of art camp, we are going to be doing a book called Lily Brown's Paintings. And this is all about a story about how a little girl creates all these different fantasy worlds with her paintings. So today's project is going to be creating a very special painting using a technique called crayon resist. So let's go ahead and get started. And guys, I really hope that you've enjoyed this week. I have certainly enjoyed taking this journey with you. Take care. Lily Brown's Paintings, written by Angela Johnson and paintings by E.B. Lewis. Lily Brown's Paintings by Angela Johnson, paintings by E.B. Lewis. Orchard Books, New York, an imprint of Scholastic Incorporated. Lily Brown loves her mama, daddy, and baby brother and the world they live in. Sometimes she spins around her room thinking about their world, and it's wondrous. But when Lily Brown paints, her world starts to change. The sunlight turns to stars and Lily begins flying around them. All the universe is one big colorful splash. The stars circle the planets in Lily Brown's paintings. And sometimes they come down to earth to hang around sidewalk cafes and shine when the sun goes down. When Lily Brown paints, the trees that she walks past on her way to school wear hats and drink tea on cool days with other trees and shrubbery. They know Lily and bow to her. When Lily Brown paints fruit at the corner market, it is striped and polka dotted. It speaks to people, then laughs out loud. When people put the fruit in bags to take home, the apples sing all the way there. In Lily Brown's paintings, the path to the park becomes a wild animal living room with antelopes lounging and alligators on the phone. Lily always remembers to draw them a treat. In Lily Brown's paintings, softly blowing rose-colored winds bring voices from across the ocean to tell stories that she has never heard. Then she listens and paints with blues and orange to let the wind know she has heard them. Sometimes Lily herself walks around in her paintings or sails away through fields of red corn and purple painted skyscrapers. In Lily Brown's paintings, the colors of people, places, and things change with her heart. People walk upside down and the buildings on streets dance with airplanes flying above, and it's another world. Lily paints all that she sees and feels her own way. She puts her world of color and light on anything she can find. It's magical. But at the end of the day, when Lily Brown is about to put her paints away, she remembers her mama's smile, her daddy's eyes, and the way her baby brother holds her hand before he goes to sleep. It's their world again, and it's wondrous. Special thanks to Orchard Books, New York, an imprint of Scholastic. Created with work by Angela Johnson and E.B. Lewis. Copyright 2007. Today's project, you are going to need some food coloring, white paper, white crayon, a pencil, and a paintbrush. A container for rinsing your brush in water will also be helpful. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is we've got to come up with some sort of a fantasy world. Think of something that's kind of silly. I am thinking of what would it be like to live in a house that looks like a cat. I love cats, guys. So I'm going to draw a house that looks like a cat. I mean, how silly would that be? So Just use your imagination to think about some silly world. Maybe you want to do like some world where everything is opposite. Maybe you want to do a candy world. Maybe you want to do, it could be anything. Just use your imagination to think of kind of a silly fantasy type of place. And go ahead and draw it in pencil first. I would highly suggest to you to draw with your pencil lightly. That way if you need to erase something, it will erase much easier. All right, so here's my drawing of my cat house. And now I'm gonna use that white crayon and I'm gonna trace over everything that I did with pencil with the white crayon. And I'm pushing down pretty hard with that white crayon. And you may be asking yourself, but I can't see the white crayon. Don't worry, we will be able to see it after the next step. So when you put on your white crayon, you may think, oh, I can't see it, so I don't know if I've gone over it. Use your finger to touch on those lines, and you'll be able to feel that white crayon. So take your time in outlining every part that you just did in pencil. You're going to go over it with the white crayon. So we're not coloring anything in, we're just tracing over the pencil line. Okay, now it's time to paint, but we're not going to use traditional paint, we're going to use food coloring. So I just put some water in some cups and I put about a teaspoon of food coloring in each of my cups. And notice that I used yellow, blue, and red. Those are primary colors, so I know that I can make other colors with those colors too. So simply taking my paintbrush, dipping it in. Now I'm not just painting things to be like their regular colors. I'm gonna try to make this look kind of tie-dye. I mean, this is a crazy world, right? So I'm gonna make things look different colors. But look, as I'm doing that, look what happens. Can you see the white crayon now? Notice how those, yeah, that white crayon is really popping off of there. When I wanna change my colors, I rinse it in my in my water, dab it onto my paper towel so I don't get it too wet, and dip it into a new color. And watch what happens. I'm gonna put that yellow into that blue. Oh, looky there, guys, we got a new color. We got some green. Because remember, yellow and blue make green. I can spread that around. Using nice smooth brush strokes. We don't want to scrub the paper. We don't want to clean it, right? We're painting with it. So be nice to your paintbrush. Make sure you've got a good hair day. All right, so rinsing, and we've got into some yellow now. The nice thing about the food coloring is they're really nice and bright. Now, if you've got regular watercolors, you're welcome to use those. But if you don't have watercolors, no worries. Food coloring does a great job of being a substitute for paint. So I'm rinsing again. Now I'm gonna dip it into a little red here. And I will say the red kind of looks a little orange. Oh, I love that. Look at that, mixing there with the yellow. Oh, and look what happens. Do you see it moving? Yeah, it's moving right there into the yellow too. Oh yeah. And wherever you see white lines, that's where our crayon was at. And I did notice as I was working on mine, I forgot to go over the whiskers and the nose and the mouth of my cat. So unfortunately, it doesn't have the white on it. So I learned that after I got my painting finished. But that's okay, it still came out pretty well. And I'm gonna go ahead and, add a little more blue here. The blue into the green. Oh yeah. And when it dips over there into that red, what do you think you're gonna get when you mix blue and red? Say it with me, purple. I love mixing colors, it's so much fun. Boy, doesn't that look like the most fun painting ever? And this is my painting after it's done and dried. So, go ahead and try your very own crayon resist.